Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jeunesse Success Team training call. My name is Rob Pottles, and I will be giving you guys the tips tonight on how to introduce your business. And we have callers calling in from all around the country and some from outside the country. So we'd like to welcome you to tonight's call. And if you visited the Facebook community page, you'll notice that we did get the recorded call from last night finally posted. I apologize for the brief delay on that, but it's now up. Some of you have already listened to it, and that's fantastic. So welcome to tonight's call. Tonight we're going to cover introducing your business. And I got to tell you, last night we went like an hour and 53 minutes. Tonight's call is about 5 hours. I'm only kidding. Actually, tonight's program is probably half. Just so you'll know, it's probably about half the amount of time. We're going to open the call up at the end, same format that we did last night. We're going to kind of dot the I's, cross the T's, fill in the blanks. We're going to answer your questions that you have. But I'm going to start right now. And we're going to go over in this chapter how to introduce your business. In this chapter, you're going to learn how to effectively introduce your business through the use of professional tools and personal presentations. So you have two choices that you decide on how you're going to introduce your business. Choice A is through a tool. Choice B is going to be from a presentation. Let's talk about the tools first. Here are the most important and popular tools that you have to introduce your business to others. Starting with tool number one, your mobile app. J-Mobile loads right down to the smartphone. As soon as a new distributor gets started, they should know how to download that app, and they should be walked through a tutorial on how to use that app with their sponsor. They should literally text each other back and forth until that person is comfortable and knows exactly how to use the app. That's our responsibility when we start that new person. There's one of your tools. A world-class app, an app that's got recognition through Telly Awards and Stevie Awards, an app that'll just totally captivate your audience and wow them. So there's one of your tools. Tool number two, JSocial. Now, you may not use JSocial. Some of you may use JSocial, but JSocial is one of your tools. It's $16 a month. You have to access it through your back office, but you can use the same type of platform that you have with the J-Mobile through JSocial, integrating it through Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., crossing over all your social media platforms. That's JSocial. Same thing. Your upline needs to show you exactly how to use it. If you have a question on how to use it, you sit down with your sponsor and they take you through a tutorial, step by step on how to use it. If your sponsor don't know how to use it, then they need to get with you and go up to the next person upline until you find someone that knows how to use it. Remember, the blind should not lead the blind. Okay, you have to find somebody. A drowning man is not going to be able to give you swimming lessons. Okay, you have to find the person that knows how to use that tool. All right, the next tool you have. Right now, tonight, Tuesday night, every single Tuesday night is a live webinar. They send out a link if you have your email address on file to receive communications. They have a link and they do a live webinar. It's normally hosted by one of the diamonds in the company. It normally runs anywhere from 40 to 60 minutes. It covers topics from the products. It covers the compensation. It covers the company. It covers everything that a brand new person needs to know. And that's every single Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night, I specifically try to have someone on that webinar. as I'm working them through the funnel and I'm sifting and sorting, after they've watched the teaser videos, after we've chatted back and forth, when they're ready to go to the next level, that next step, that next tool is the webinar. Remember, systems and tools is what's going to build your business. Another tool that you have every single Thursday night is a live opportunity call. A live opportunity call. This is a guest call. This is for your prospects. This is for the new people to listen in to get some additional information around the company, the products, the compensation plan, and get a gauge or a pulse as to what's going on in the world of Jeunesse. What a great tool to be able to plug them into. So Tuesday night, live webinar, Thursday night, live opportunity call. Internet tools such as your website, online videos that you want to email people, online media, YouTube stuff, it's all out there. There's a ton of stuff out there. When somebody asks me for the compensation plan and they want an overview of the compensation plan, I literally go on YouTube and I grab the one that I feel is best and I send them a link and I let them watch the YouTube video. Did I make the video? No, because I'm not worried about being the message. All I need to be is the messenger. That's all you need to be is the messenger. You have to get them the tool. Printed materials, your company brochures, your printed materials, your flip chart. Some of you don't even know you have a flip chart. It came in the little white box that had your sales and marketing material in there. Booklets about the company, booklets about the products, booklets about the opportunity, the game plan, the getting started, the game plan. All of that stuff that's in that sales and marketing kit is all of your printed material. You have to decide. If you're talking to someone and you know that they're not the person that has the smartphone, you know that they do not really use the internet, well, guess what? You give them one of your tools, a printed booklet about the product, if that's what they're interested in. If they're interested in the opportunity, you flip them the opportunity booklet. Use your flip chart, your presentation booklet. The bottom line is there's a tool here for every single scenario that you would possibly need. Whether it's the high tech or the low tech, they're all there. You just have to know which ones you need for which person. Pre-recorded conference calls, anything that's recorded, anything that's on YouTube, those are tools. If they have a designated playback number and you really like the certain conference call, that's the kind of stuff that you plug people into. When using tools to introduce the business, remember you're merely the messenger delivering the company's message through a professionally produced tool. In a sense, you are the 30-second commercial promoting a 30-minute show. It's basically what you are. You're the introduction. You're the pique the curiosity, pique the interest, but the tool will do the rest. So you have to use the tools. Let me give you the advantages of using the tools. Because I told you before we started, there's two ways for you to introduce the business. One is through tools, and number two is through presentations. And I'm gonna share with you first the advantages of using the tools. Using professionally produced tools to introduce the business offers 10 distinct advantages. And I'm going to cover them right now. Number one, it's definitely more comfortable. For most people, it's more comfortable to use a professionally produced tool to introduce the business than to give a personal presentation any day of the week. The more comfortable people are in the method that they're using to introduce the business, the more people they will invite to learn about it. We all know what happens when they're uncomfortable. When they're uncomfortable, they don't do it. When they're uncomfortable, they don't make the call. When they're uncomfortable, they don't have the meeting. When they're uncomfortable, they just sit in a holding pattern and do nothing. So the first advantage of using tools is it makes them more comfortable. They feel they can do it. Number two, it's definitely more time efficient. By using tools to introduce your business, you can determine who has an interest in learning more about the business before you spend time with them. Remember yesterday, time is valuable. Your time is valuable. You're creating the posture, your posture. You're sifting and sorting. People have to earn that time with you. For you to sit down with somebody, if somebody calls me up and says, hey, I want to do a 3-way call, who do you have? Qualify your prospect. Tell me who it is. Tell me who they are. Tell me a little bit about them. Because I don't just want to get on the phone with anybody, and you're not going to want to just sit down with anybody just because they want to sit down and they have nothing better to do, because your time is valuable. You are basically using the tools to sift and sort and determine their level of interest. This will allow you to spend your time productively because you only will be meeting with the people who have a genuine interest in the business. Why would you sit down with someone who does not have a pulse? It's a complete waste of time, and you find yourself trying to sell them, convince them, and pitch them, and trying to convince them that they should get in the business. And it's totally a waste of time. Number 3, tools can be reviewed multiple times. When you give people a tool, they can review it as many times as they want. Each time they review it, they learn a little bit more about the business, a little bit more about the product, a little bit more about the company. And as a result, their interest and belief level generally goes to the next level. If you're using J-Mobile, you'll get an alert each and every time they actually watch, and you'll be able to see what video they clicked on. Never send them 2 and 3 videos at once. Never send people more than 1 video at a time. Never. They have to watch the one that you sent them. Once they click on it, then you send them a second video. What is their interest level? Is it a consumer? Are you prospecting them for the product? Which product? Is it weight loss? Is it skincare? Is it nutritionals? Are you prospecting them for the business and the opportunity? The first thing a distributor needs to do is they need to watch every single video in their J-Mobile when they enroll. They're 2-minute videos. The longest video is 14 minutes. Why would they ask you, well, what video do you think I should send them? That's a ridiculous question. Why are you asking me what video you should send Phyllis? I don't even know Phyllis. You know Phyllis. You should have watched all the videos, and you should know exactly what video to send to Phyllis. How would I know who Phyllis is or what you're even prospecting her for? You see, this is all part of the teaching and the education process that we have to do, and we have to do it with brand new people as soon as they're getting started. Because if they screw it up and they do it wrong, they'll blow out their entire warm market. Their level of frustration will escalate, and they'll just throw up their arms and say, I can't do this. I tried this before. This is the second time. And they can't do it because they weren't coached up, because we didn't take the time to properly get them started. Okay? So tools can be reviewed multiple times. I love it when they click on a video. If they're watching product-related videos, then I try and send them another product-related video because that's what they're liking. If I notice that they watched a compensation that too and it's paid for you, or the opportunity testimonies, if I know they clicked on that twice, then I know that they're gearing and leaning more towards the business. It's really simple. All I got to do is look at my dashboard and see where they're going. And I know exactly what to put down next. Next, number 4, less upline help is needed to get started. If you choose to focus on introducing your business using tools, you will not need someone teaching you how to give personal presentations. You'll simply follow the instructions on how to invite people in the previous lesson, what we did last night. and then simply use a tool. Number 5, tools will create an I can do it attitude. Since asking people to review a tool is so easy and non-threatening, more prospects will believe that they can build a successful business using tools rather than giving personal presentations. Number 6, let's go back to number 5. Let's talk about number 5. I want to repeat that. Tools can create an I can do it attitude. Since asking people to review a tool is so easy and non-threatening, more prospects will believe they can build a successful business using tools rather than giving personal presentations. Now, I'm going to elaborate on that for just 1 second. Hang on 1 second here, guys. I need to take that. Also, when you're prospecting, other companies are out here prospecting as well. I don't care if they're selling energy, vitamins, skincare. I don't care what they're selling, what they're marketing. They're all doing the same thing. They're trying to build a network of distributors and or customers. So they're all chasing, at the end of the day, the same thing. Some people try and screw you up in your head and say, well, you could join my business too, plus you could do your business because, you see, we do this and you do that, and they don't have anything to do with each other. Bull crap. They don't. You're out here trying to build a network of independent distributors, and I'm out here trying to build a network of independent distributors. The bottom line, who's going to win? I'll tell you who's going to win. Who's got the best mousetrap? That's who's going to win. Because no matter who's approaching the prospects, they'll like your deal. They'll like your product. But at the end of the day, they scratch their head and they say to themselves often, do I have time? Can I do that? Do I have time to do meetings at my house? Now, I'm not knocking meetings. Please don't misunderstand me. Meetings are lifebloods to certain companies and certain organizations. You have to have meetings. But if meetings is the sole way you build, if that's your sole generating program, if that's your whole lifeline, is meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, people will get meeting to death. It will last for 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months tops, and then it flatlines. I have watched it year after year after year, company after company after company, market after market after market. I just see the same thing happen. And you will have the once-in-a-blue-moon person that will join a company and religiously do meetings every single week, and they will do it for years. But you see, the likelihood of your team and my team and me and you finding that person is once in a blue moon. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like to eat every once in a blue moon. I like to eat every single day. I want to create a check every single week. I want it to grow every single month. So I don't want to wait every once in a blue moon to try to find the needle in the haystack, the one dude that's going to come in, that's going to do these meetings all the time, every week, and stay consistent at it forever. Because good luck finding them. They are out there. But you're liable to spend the next 10 years and search every day and not find them. And that's just a reality. It's just the way it is. Using tools will get the busiest people that don't have time to be able to have the I can do it attitude. Tools create an I have time to do it attitude. One of the questions on everyone's mind is whether they have enough time to build their own business. If people were introduced to your business using a tool, they will assume that they will be able to use the same tool to build their business. If they perceive that they can build their business using the tool, they will not have to invest a lot of time giving presentations. They will be more likely attracted to your business. Remember, at the end of the day, who has the best mousetrap? And that's a very, very strong statement. Who has the best mousetrap? I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't a better mousetrap out here than what we have. It don't exist. Not today. Not in 2015 of October. It may exist next year. I ain't seen it yet. But as of right now, you have, I have, and we have the best mousetrap in the marketplace. Nobody has anything better. They may have something close. They may have videos, but they do not have the mousetrap that we actually have. And it's part of the reason this company is growing the way it's growing. Number 7, using tools is definitely more duplicatable. This whole week, I'm going to teach you nothing more than duplication. Don't do what works, do what duplicates. If you can't get your organization to duplicate, it's not going to get you where you want to go. Anyone can hand out tools, but not everyone can do a compelling presentation. I'm going to repeat that. Anyone can hand out tools. Anyone can send a video. Anyone can use the tool, but not everyone can do a compelling presentation. Not everyone is a Wes Benson. Wes Benson is a rock star. And if you get a Wes Benson in your downline, fantastic. However, the majority of the people are not going to be of that caliber. They're just not going to be. So in order for us all to build big, to build deep, to build globally, we have to have systems and tools that are going to have the majority of the people are going to be able to do it. Number 8, using tools adds credibility to every one of your offerings. When people review one of your company's professionally produced tools, they will be reviewing a credible introduction to the business and your products. Number 9, when it's more convenient for both you and your prospects. It's just a fact. Using tools is definitely more convenient. When you ask people to review one of your tools, you do not need to coordinate schedules for presentations. You can give tools to people at any time, at any place. This allows people to learn about the business on their convenience, on their schedule. It's number 10. It's easier to invite people to review a tool than to attend a presentation all day long. Number 10. It's easier to invite people to review a tool than to attend a presentation every day of the week. There's nobody on this call, nobody anywhere in any company would ever convince me otherwise. That doesn't even make sense. As people consider attending a presentation, they will generally ask more questions because you are asking them to take their time to meet with you. In everybody's mind, they're busy. Even the people that aren't busy, they're busy watching TV. They can tell you who was on Dancing with the Stars. They can tell you who played and who won the ball game. They can tell you all this stuff. They're busy in their own mind. But everybody's busy. So to get them to take the time to come to an appointment, to a meeting or a presentation is a little bit harder than to get them to watch a tool. If you're going to be using one of the professionally produced tools to introduce the business, your task is simple. Just call and invite people to review one of the tools, then send them the information with a short note, a short message, and the time that you're going to call them to follow up. Or in the text, ask them when could they watch and when could I follow back up. We covered some of this last night. There's your 10 benefits of using a tool in order to introduce your business. The other way, of course, to introduce your business is through personal presentations. And personal presentations are very effective. And I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to cover the personal presentations right now. A personal presentation is when you or one of your upline business partners introduce your business to others through a live presentation. There are 3 types of personal presentations that are commonly used to introduce people to a network marketing business. There are 3 types of personal presentations. Number 1 is a one-on-one. This is when you meet privately with one of your prospects to give them a personal presentation. You may meet them at their house, a coffee shop, a restaurant, a diner, anywhere that you want to set it up, in some other location that would just be free of distraction, somewhere where you could talk and have a little bit of quiet. It's best not to meet people in their place of business where they could be distracted and interrupted. I never want to sit down with someone when their secretary is saying, Mr. So-and-so, line 3, when I got to be put on hold, when I'm going to get 3 minutes of attention here, then a 10-minute break, then I'm going to pick back up in 10 minutes from that time. That's ridiculous. Once again, your time is much too important. You cannot set a presentation under those circumstances. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Do not do the presentation. Wait another day. Wait 2 days. Wait 3 days. But make sure the circumstances are correct. Next, a 2-on-1 presentation. This is when you and one of your upline business partners meet together with one of your prospects. With this presentation, you will be watching one of your business partners present the business to one of your key contacts. This provides you an opportunity to learn how to present the business to others. So if you're going to go with an upline business partner, you should shadow that upline. You should shadow. You should edify the upline, introduce them to your guest, and let that upline business partner literally go through the flip chart, go through the process, and do this presentation with your guest while you shadow and watch. Every single time you are ever shadowing a person or you're on a 3-way call with an upline, once you do the introduction, and this was very hard for me to do, believe me, when I do the introduction, button my lip. It's not for me to say anything else. That call is now between my guest and that upline. And again, that's a challenge. That's hard to do. I'll admit it. It's hard for me to do. But when you are the upline, you want to be talking directly to that person. You can't play a dual role. You either have to be the upline that's taking the call from your downline, or when you're prospecting, you have to have an upline. We all do the same thing. We're all either going to take the call and we're going to be the upline, or when we're prospecting, we need to use the upline. It's just how it works. Number 3, a private business reception. Some people call them PBRs. If you ever heard that name, PBR, private business reception. With this type of presentation, you'll be inviting a small group of people to your house or to a home of one of your partners, or it's been at a country club, or it's been at a restaurant, or any other location. I've seen them at yacht clubs and everything, you name it. At this presentation, one of the upline business partners will introduce your company's business to the entire group at one time. This is a productive way to introduce your business because you will be introducing a group of people to your business at the same time. One group. And there's synergy when you can get a few people in a room and just one gets excited. 1 or 2 gets excited because it kind of rubs off. Next, large group presentations. They're also known, there's also another type of in-person presentation, and this is the large group presentation. They're normally done at hotels, bigger venues. You'll see them put on calendars. You'll see banners promoting them for what your company's doing around the region, around the world, around the country. However, it is generally not recommended for someone's first introduction to your business. It's not recommended for someone's first introduction to your business. A lot of people, as soon as they think they have to go to the Hilton or they have to go to the Sheraton, a lot of them, they've already been there. Or a lot of them, their preconceived notion is they're going to try and sell me something. This is some kind of a sales pitch. They just that's their perception. Everybody tries to judge the book by the cover. And that's a lot of the times, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's much easier to do their first presentation at my house when I invite them over, like we talked about last night, for a cup of coffee, because I'm having one or two other successful business people in the area joining me, and I'd like to kick around with them what it is we're doing and see if they have an interest and see if it makes sense. That's much easier to get them to my home than it is to get them to the Sheraton. So remember, it's not normally good for their first introduction to the business just to throw them in a hotel room like a herd of cattle with 30, 40, 50, 60 other people, or sometimes 100 or more people. It's really not. There's no one-on-one. It's when a meeting breaks, you got 2 or 3 guests there. You don't know which one to chase after. It's just not the way to do it. These meetings generally take place in country clubs, banquet halls, private rooms, restaurants. These presentations are very effective in providing more information to people who have already been introduced. I'm going to repeat that for you. These presentations are very effective in providing more information for people who have already been introduced to your business through a tool or a personal presentation. That group meeting, that bigger event, when they get to go listen to one of the diamonds or one of the emeralds or go meet some of the people, that takes them to a whole next step. They already have an interest. You already have them in the funnel. All you're doing is elevating them to the next level of enthusiasm. You're taking them to the next step. That's when you take them to that. Large group presentations are very effective at building people's belief and confidence in the company, because your prospects can meet with other people in the company and hear their stories firsthand. And there's nothing that's more believable than that. When they're talking directly to people, hearing their stories, whether it's related to the product, whether it's a testimony that they have, an experience that they had, results that they had, and the results could be anything from product related to a life change income-wise and the lifestyle that they live because of being part of the business, being part of the company. When they share their story, absolutely amazing. Advantages of the personal presentation. The main advantage of the personal presentation is that if the person giving the presentation does a good job, you will likely sponsor a higher percentage of people than when using tools. Here's a few reasons why. You will be able to strengthen your relationship because you will be spending time together. The stronger your relationship is with your prospects and business partners, the more inclined they will be to team up with you. We all heard this before, and it just goes back to, it's all about relationships. It's all about relationships. Those meetings, those networking meetings, those times to introduce people to your team is a prime time to build relationships and to strengthen relationships. It doesn't get any better than that. Next, to build a lasting relationship, learn to express appreciation. When people take their time to look at something that you are offering, thank them for their time. As you express appreciation for others, you not only enrich their lives, but you also grow in value and status as well. Another quality to develop is to show an interest in others. Every time you show a genuine interest in the lives of others, you're telling them that who they are and what they do is significant. And that's so important. Be genuine when they take the time to attend your presentation. You can customize your presentation for your audience, which makes it more personal. You will have their undivided attention for the entire presentation. This allows them to learn about the business without distractions, interruptions, or the ability to multitask. You'll be able to show and demonstrate your products. When you do personal presentations, depending on what product that you're using, this could be a great advantage. I mean, you want to talk about building belief? Show Instantly Ageless with 2 or 3 people in your room one time and demonstrate it on 2 or 3 people. And just listen to the breaths and listen to the ahs and the, oh my goodness, oh, did you listen to the response of people when you demonstrate that product? Seeing is believing. Seeing it on video is one thing. Seeing it on your friend is completely something different. So that's where you're having a meeting, you definitely want to demonstrate the product. And that's a product right there that's easily demonstratable. It's the hook. It's the one that can give you the instant result, and then you can go into all the other stuff. Your presentation booklet is inside of that white box that comes with your marketing tools. Whether you're going to use tools or presentations to introduce the business to others, you still want to use the presentation booklet. Although you may not use it to give presentations, you'll use it for more information when questions arise. When you get questions, always try to grab a tool. If someone asks me about the compensation plan, I want to grab the opportunity book. If someone asks me a question about the Luminesce Cellular Rejuvenation Serum, I want to grab the book. I don't care if I knew every single word in that book or if I wrote that book. I don't care if I knew it like the back of my hand. You know why? Because that person is not going to know it like the back of their hand. And when they get asked a question, what they want to know is, how do we answer the questions? When someone asks a question, how do I know all these answers? How do I know what this costs? And how do I know what ingredients in this? And how do I know, all this stuff? Because you simply show them a tool. Once they see that you operate off of tools, they'll simply follow suit and do the same thing. When they're asking ingredients or how does the face mask work, I don't know how the face mask works. Let's take a look. Let me tell you all about it. Let me show you the video. Pop on the video. See, that will answer their questions. And you know what? If you sat there and had diarrhea of the mouth and regurgitated and told them everything, it's nowhere near as duplicatable as handing them the booklet, turning to the page with the face mask, and letting them read the information. There's nothing that you can say that would be more effective than grabbing your smartphone, going into your mobile app, going down to the face mask, and clicking play and handing them your phone. There's nothing that you could possibly say that would be more effective than that. Teach people to use the tools. The unique benefit of using some of the benefits about your presentation booklet when you get in there, I like to point out, is the unique benefits of the company, the management team. I like to highlight the compensation plan, trends, about the future, the growth, the industry, the products, training and support that's available to them, showing them that they're part of a team, the marketing, the presentation tools that they have at their fingertips, contests, reward trips, things like that the company does for people, recognition photos, and anything else you need to show that'll help make your business special. I mean, that's what you use the tools for. That's what you use the presentation booklet for. Now, determining which method to use. So if I asked you right now, which method should you use? Should you use tools or should you use presentation? That's like someone asking you, well, which video should I send to Phyllis? I don't know Phyllis. I don't know Phyllis. So I don't know what video to send Phyllis. The bottom line is you have both. You have both in your arsenal. You don't have to pick one or the other. You have the flexibility to introduce your business using both tools and personal presentations. The best place to start in making your decision is to learn how your upline partners, the team that you're working with, are introducing the business to their prospects, because that's who you're working with. Wherever it is that the leadership in the company is focusing their efforts is where you will likely experience your greatest success. Remember, you will not take swimming lessons from a drowning man. You will not listen to someone that you would not trade places with. Be very, very careful who you take advice from. Everybody wants to give advice. Everybody wants to give advice. It's amazing how many people call themselves coaches and call themselves trainers and call themselves this, that, and the other. And I'll read a Facebook post, and this is a dude that borrowed $100 from me a week ago. Now I'm scratching my head. You got to be kidding me. You're still living at your mom's. And you're coaching people on finances? Very, very. You have to vet where you get information from. That's your job, is to vet where you're getting information from and teach your team the same thing. When you go upline, it doesn't matter if your sponsor, a lot of times in these businesses, somebody feels like they're in a bad situation because their sponsor is no longer in the business. It doesn't matter. I was the number 2 income earner in my last company, and my sponsor quit the business or was out of the business years before that ever happened. It doesn't matter. I don't care about that guy. He has absolutely nothing to do whether I fail miserably or I make it to the top. He just happened to be lucky enough to be my sponsor. That's the way you have to look at it. You're going to build your business regardless as to what happens to the person that brought you in. Don't point the finger down, oh, well, my sponsor's no longer in it and I never got any support. There's an upline above your upline. And there's an upline above that guy or gal. And there's one even above them and above them. And your job is to find out who they are and what is their contact information, because I need it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I run and I run hard and I put the baton in your hand, I expect you to run it just as hard as me. And if you're the second upline to me or the third upline to me and you're willing to work with me, then we're going to run together. Find out who that running mate is. The fact of the matter is you may be a harder runner than the person that sponsored you, and that's good for you. Don't worry about the person that sponsored you. If they can't keep up, then find somebody that can, somebody that will. But don't just throw your arms up in the air and say, I don't ever get a call back. It's not about that person. Let's talk about building your brand, regardless of whether you use tools or personal presentations to introduce your business. At some point, you'll be getting together with your prospects, your business partners. The impression you make on these people during your time together will play a persuasive role in their ultimate decision. While the way you present your business is important, it's not nearly as important as the way you present yourself. Just as companies and products have a brand, people carry and create a brand. Your brand is how the world sees you. It's the impression you make on others, the values that you stand for, the qualities that mold your personality, the characteristics that make you stand out from the crowd. Your goal should be able to build a brand for yourself that when people think of you, they think of someone that they respect, admire, and enjoy being around. And now we're going to wrap up. If you've not already started making your invitation calls, challenge yourself to start making calls tomorrow. The balance of this week's training will not offer you any additional benefit if you've not already started making your invitation calls. Be sure to listen to the audio of this training as we post it on Facebook. Many times, as I will go through training for myself, I will listen to something the third time, the fourth time, and the fifth time. And as I'm listening to it the fourth time and the fifth time, I'm hearing something that I'm hearing for the very first time, if you can believe that or not. Something is clicking the fourth time or the fifth time that was repeated over and over, but it didn't sink in because there were so many nuggets that it didn't click until the fifth time that I listened to it. Because I want to make sure that I become a master at it. Because if you want to become professional, if you want to become professional, if you want to go pro, if you want to become professional, then you have to become a master at it. And you have to listen to it over and over until you have it down like the back of your hand, until you know it and you can say it in your sleep. That's how good you want to become at it. People will look at you and say, it's just so natural for you. It just seems like it's so natural for you. And when you teach them, if they're coachable and they're willing to learn, it'll be like riding a bicycle. Once they learn, they'll never forget. Once they learn, they'll be able to get on any bicycle, anywhere, at any time, and just start pedaling and going. Once they learn how to use systems, how to use the tools, how to properly invite, how to properly follow up, how to properly present the business to people, when they learn all of the ways to do this business the way it's supposed to be done, they'll thank you, actually, because they want this to be successful. They want to do well. They just don't know how to do it. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, they're following the wrong monkey. It's monkey see, monkey do, and they're following the wrong person because that person, unfortunately, doesn't know what they're doing. And again, I'll repeat what I said earlier. You do not go to a drowning man and ask for swimming lessons. You have to be very, very selective in who you really are going to lock your arms with. You have to be very selective. And you guys that are on this call, in my opinion, you're the top of the top. You're the top of the top. We're building a team around the globe. It just started in March of this year, and we're attracting the 8s, the 9s, and the 10s. And that's who we want to lock arms with. We want to lock arms with the best of the best, the people that want it, they have a strong why, and they're coachable. And congratulations on finishing up tonight's step. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, is I'm going to open up like we did last night. Let me just go here and we will unlock those lines. And we were only 50 minutes tonight. Also, one of your tools, do not forget, and I apologize as I down my. One of your tools also is our local team call that happens every single Sunday night, and that's Sunday Night Live. That really gets people tied into your personal team, and that's a fantastic tool, obviously, another resource that you have to be able to plug people into every single Sunday night. I think Sunday night is an ideal time because people are going back to work. The weekend's now over, and Sunday night at that time, it's a great time to be able to get people on a call. So that call takes place at a perfect time. So let's answer some questions if there are any questions out there tonight, and kind of as we wind this thing down here tonight. So somebody say something if you're there.
Hey, Rob.
Love to hear from you.
This is Sherry.
Hi,
up
Sherry.
Here in Alaska. Hey, I got to say, I am just, what do you call it, speechless. That's really rare for me. You did that so well. I don't think there could be any questions, and And the fact that you have this on a replay and for people to go back to this, because you nailed every single point spot on. I'm sitting here making all these comments. Oh my gosh, he nailed it. Oh my gosh, I am so lucky to have you as a trainer in this company. This is just, we all are. We're all very lucky. Thanks a lot, Rob. Enough said.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I absolutely love it. I truly enjoy helping people. I want to see your success. As we move on in what we're doing together here with West and with this team and with the leadership here, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to move into the next 30 days. I want to move into the next 60 days. And I want to have the teaching and the training. I want to have the nuggets. And I want to have people embrace and grasp and use what it is that we're showing you, teaching you, guiding you, holding your hand together to do. Because what I want in return, the only thing I want is the story. That's it. I want you to share your story. I want you to share. If you use that J Mobile app now and all of a sudden it worked, if you use J Social, if you invited people to a presentation, if you now know how to invite people better, if you know how to follow back up, whatever it is that you're doing, and it's starting to work in a positive direction and taking you one baby step at a time. You have to walk before you run. You will crawl before you will walk. If it just takes you to the next step, I want to hear that story. This group of leaders want to hear that story because we all like to hear when somebody is seeing some success and something is working, and it rubs off down to the next one. And before you know it, when we look back and we're 90 days down the road from now, there'll be a fury of stories. There'll be stories from people, and you will look like the superstar. And the reason you'll look like the superstar is because you will not only have done it yourself, you will have taught your brand new distributor how to do this business properly and how to become successful and how to get off to a fast start. And they will thank you forever. And that
Absolutely.
will mean more to some than a check. You'll get a check.
People just want to know what to do. They just want to know what to do.
Absolutely. Who else is out there?
Hey, this is Sharon.
Hey,
and
Sharon.
I just again want to really acknowledge you for nailing it. And I had a teammate that I got to get to your call from yesterday. She listened to it twice. Hadn't been able to move, had been feeling pretty stuck up until now. And I just have several people who are on this call, and it's like water in the desert. It's awesome to just, because there's always this question about the internet and presentations and webinars and going to people's meetings, and there's a confusion out there that paralyzes people. And what you did tonight was you took the paralysis and the analysis paralysis out of it, so people can choose. But just have the clarity to do something. It's awesome.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you for sharing that, and I appreciate it. Anybody else out there? I want to talk about something else before we close out this call tonight, and it's very, very, very important. It's critical. And the thing I want to talk about is, who do you prospect? Who do you prospect? I've had people call me up on the phone and say, Rob, you need to talk to this woman. She is sick. She is so sick. She needs the vitamins. Rob, you should see this lady's skin. I'm not a doctor. I don't need to talk to sick people. I don't need to spend my time in the wrong area. And what I want to finalize out on tonight is, where do you go prospecting? Where do you go prospecting? Because every one of us only have a certain amount of moms and dads and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters and cousins and coworkers. And then you're out. There is no more. You're not going to have no more aunts or uncles. You're not going to have no more brothers or sisters, most likely. You're done. So now it's all about prospecting. And when you prospect, here's my criteria for prospecting. I want the 35 and over crowd. Why do I want them 35 and over? I'll tell you why. Because the 24-year-old is more concerned about the sound system in their car and the rims that they're paying a second payment on in addition to the car payment to make sure that the rims are on the car because the car's got to look good. You think he's worried about an easy ship? To maintain the integrity of an easy ship in month 2 or month 3 at $80 or $90? No, he's not. Will one in a blue moon do it? Yes, one in a blue moon will do it. I don't want to eat every once in a blue moon. The 35 and over crowd, they're the ones that now start to feel a little bit different than they did when they were 24. They're the ones that are looking in the mirror and noticing another fine line or a wrinkle or a dark spot or whatever it is, and they'd like to do something about it. Second criteria I have, gainfully employed. I'm going to repeat it for you. Gainfully employed. I didn't say employed. I said gainfully employed. Because there's a big difference. Listen, somebody has to work McDonald's. Walmart has to be open. Somebody has to work there. Dunkin' Donuts, somebody has to do the coffee and the donuts. I mean, it just has to get done. Mm-hmm. That does not mean that's where I'm going to prospect my next prospect. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad guy or a bad girl. I love them. But guess what happens when I say, hey, listen, I need you to go to Florida with me in November to really take a good look at the company, to really wrap your head around this and understand what we have here. Meanwhile, they're making $9.28 an hour working at Walmart. Guess what? They can't go to Florida with me. Guess what? They can't control their own hours. Guess what? If things are tight, they're the first ones to drop off their easy ship. The first ones, because they're only making $12 an hour. I want to build my business with people that are 35 and over and gainfully employed or own their own business. Let me share you something. I'm going to ask you a question. Let me give you an example, $1,000. Sherry Denny, you bring in somebody that makes $1,000 in a month. The guy works for the federal government. He works on a railroad. He makes $80,000 a year. He's been there for 28 years. He made $1,000 in his first month. He starts making $1,000 a month residual income. They take a nicer vacation this year than they did last year. They buy a nicer car than they did. They do an addition on their house. You can see a lifestyle change a little bit. Somebody else on this call brings in someone that works at Dunkin' Donuts or is unemployed. They need this. Man, they need it. Oh, my God, do they need it. They haven't had a job. They can't get a job. They're borrowing money to get in. And now they made $1,000 for the month. Who's got a better story? A guy that don't have no other income, who's full-time, made $1,000 here in a month, or the guy making $80,000 a year is now making an extra $12,000 a year working from his home, joined our business? Who's going to stay on the easy ship? These are the things that we have to teach people. There's enough people out here that are 35 and over gainfully employed for us to go target than to worry about spinning wheels, wasting our time with anybody else. Does that make sense to you?
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
I always have a philosophy that I've taken on the last couple of years. You want to sponsor the 5 people that you want to hang around the most and be around the most, and it's the criteria of a Wes Benson, a Rob Pottle, a Duncan, and so forth. If you go after the people that you want to associate with, vacation with, and be partners with, you'll go after the right people automatically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. When you're working with your brand new distributors and you're going to learn this. We're going to teach you this. And they're building their list. When they write down their list, I qualify that list. I ask them, hey, who on this list are the most health-conscious people? You have 20 names here. You have 18 people written down. You have 15 names. You have 63 names here. If you had to tell me the top 4 people that are the most health-conscious people in your whole list, who would it be? Right away, she circles 1 or 2. My next question, why did you circle that one? Why did you circle the second one? What made you, out of 60 names, immediately take your pen and put a star next to Phyllis? Oh, well, Phyllis is my aunt. Aunt Phyllis she's a vegan. She doesn't eat any meat. She goes to the gym 5 days a week. They'll go in a story now, and you'll hear why they picked. Well, guess what? You think that might be one of the people that we might want to contact first? You think it would just make sense for us to possibly put her at the top of the list? Because by the time I go through 2 or 3 or 4 practice calls with a brand new distributor, getting them started, and I'm targeting somebody as a customer, they already get a customer, or they possibly get a distributor or whatever, and you role play 2 or 3 times or 4 or 5 times, it doesn't take a month to get them trained. They see this happen 2, 3, 4 times, and guess what? Because you did it with them, we live in a what kind of world? A monkey see, monkey do. So guess what they're going to do when they finally sponsor someone? They're just going to do the same process that you put them through. Isn't that beautiful? And now your business starts to what? It starts to duplicate, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to duplicate. And they're doing it the right way. They're actually doing it the way they're supposed to do it. And guess what happens when that person brings someone in? They're going to do it the same exact way. And then that's going to duplicate. And when that starts to happen, you're going to be so excited because you're going to say, oh my goodness, take a look at what's happening. But it will never start if it doesn't start here first. It starts with us. It starts today. It starts with the next phone call. It starts with the very next distributor that comes on board. It starts with rekindling a distributor that joined 3 weeks ago that we didn't do it properly with. Does that make sense? I guess y'all hung up on me.
No, we didn't hang up. They're just shocked.
You're making so much sense.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for tonight? I tried to keep it to an hour tonight. Tomorrow we will cover, just to give you a heads up on tomorrow's agenda, I will show you exactly how to determine the level of interest in your prospects. You're going to know exactly how to determine their level of interest tomorrow. Who's got another question? Anything you want to say tonight? You want to ask me a tough question, a difficult question? This is a training call. There's no new people on this call. It's just us, the ones that are in the trenches with our boots on. We're in the battle. We're in the field. We're in the war together. If I knew there was a secret magic wand that I could hand to everybody and just say, just wave this, abracadabra, and it changed everything, I would give it to each and every one of you. But together, when you're having a problem, when you're having an issue, again, I'll go back to bring it to the table. Don't suffer in that problem alone. Don't fight the battle by yourself. Bring in your partners. That's what we're here for. Together. One team. One family. Wes Benson, are you on there, or did you hang up? We might have lost
You know
Wes.
better than that, Rob Bottles. I'm here with you, brother.
All right.
There's a
All
guy
right.
that never hangs up.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent job tonight, Rob. I tell you, it's just amazing, all the information that you're sharing. And, you know, it's going to be interesting for me to look at the report because, you know, I look at the details, and I'm interested to know how many people we'll have consistently for the next 3 days on this training call. Because, you know, Rob, you and I have had many discussions about searching for those, you know, the top 7 or 8 on the team, you know, that we're going to drag kicking and spitting and cussing and fussing across that finish line to success financially. And this is kind of the litmus test right here. I want to know who is in the ditches with us. Do you know what I'm saying, Rob? And I thank you for
Me.
You're right on, brother, and I'm taking copious notes, my friend. Excellent job.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I know I said, you know, when this call wasn't planned in advance, it wasn't even promoted. It was just, I just decided we have to go into the next 90 days, and I'm going to go into the next 90 days full steam ahead. Like, it's no more, you know, wishy-washy, no more, you know, half in, half out, no more, you know, being derailed or sidetracked into something else. I just want to go full force, 90 days, put on the blinders and do what it is that I know I can do. And then hopefully, you know, we'll see a few people that just want to do it too. It's just, you know, we're not going to necessarily get an army of people that there's going to be 150 people on the call that's going to want to all do the same and all build. But let me tell you something. You only need 1 or 2.
That's right.
Just 1 or 2 of your downline on this call, 1 or 2 of your downline decide that they're hungry enough that they want it, and that's all you need. You will build an army. Just 1 or 2.
That's exactly right. Well spoken.
So, guys, it was a hoot. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I like meeting with you guys. I like your energy. I like your feedback. And it makes me, you know, gets me excited to be able to plan for tomorrow and give you some really good nuggets for tomorrow. If that's it for everybody, it's now 11:10. I'll get this uploaded for you. I'll get this posted over to the Facebook community page, and then you can begin to share it with those that you want to share it with, and the people that couldn't jump on here tonight will be able to listen to it. So, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. I appreciate your time and taking it out to take your business to the next level, and it just motivates me. It motivates West. It motivates us to make sure we do everything that we can to help get you there together. So thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. Thank you and good night.